maybe like me and do a lot of computer work, sometimes we can position ourselves in a way that's not structurally aligned. In the motion of doing whatever you're doing, you forget about what your physicality and your benefit of flow of energy and flow of thought, because instead of using your whole body, you're using just your head. So you're just relaxed in your seat. Now I want you to position yourself so that I'm in an office chair that's got a spongy back and a spongy seat. And I want to sit a little bit more further upright. So I'm just going to see if I can hold to the right, the back. There we go. So I've just pulled my back of the seat forward a bit to give me a bit more support with my sacrum. Feeling my feet on the ground, soft, rested. They're under your knees. So your knees are at right angles to your hip and then up. As you become more aware of different structures, they stack up. This is where you come into awareness with your bodysuit, and that brings your thoughts back home. A gaze, so we're starting to call in the internal awareness within yourself. So if you place a hand on your belly, below your belly button, above your pubic bone, and the other hand, your brow, feeling the energies coming through and allowing it to settle. For me, because I'm reading lots of information and it's not going to let me cover my information. Airere care, so do it that way. Airere care. And then swap them over. So the other hand on your belly, and this tall finger is the one that we feel most with. So you can do whatever ones feel comfortable for you, but I tend to not use my pointer because we tend to point outwardly with that. So it's those two fingers there, just on your brow. Airere care. Then swap them over again. Just getting some physical resonance with your body. And bring it over. It's really activating, calling you home. It's like an energetic being is getting activated as you do that. So now it's a bit more awareness. When you go through the process throughout the day and you feel really tired and drained and you can't think, but you need to think to get these ideas through, bring your feet and ankles and knees together, put your one hand on your belly, your palm on your forehead, and just wriggle, do a breath in. And then on the outward relaxation, you just take your feet and your knees apart and then sit down. And that will give you the power of thought into the body and then relax down so you can receive that idea or what you were previously thinking of, but then lost track of thought. It's just a good way to bring it in. And then you've done a sigh, you've done a presence of awareness. So now I can feel, as we're calling in the energies, you might start to feel an awakening in your sacrum, your butt coming around your sacral bone, your sacral plate. Airere care. Airere care, airere care. The root of your kundalini, your life light, is really starting to activate as we're calling in from the earth, from Gaia, by placing our feet on the earth, our leg and our root. Around our heart, our breath, our throat, opening up our throat chakra, holding under our diaphragm, our creator energy. They're starting to spiral with the energy of the kundalini. Swapping hands, and then bringing it down. Calling in, and it's that central plate, that divine light direction moving forward. Our sternum leads us forward. Our brow gives us the thought. Our sternum moves us forward. Our shin bones move us forward, getting that polar orientation, which I'm going to bring you through very soon. But at the moment, we've got lots of things activating within our bodysuit. We're bringing awareness into your bodysuit. You're feeling your sacrum, your knees, the muscles in your legs, across your back line, your throat, your jaw, your head, your crown opening up, just by being in our energetic circuit. Wriggle your toes on the carpet. Just wriggle your butt in the seat. Come back in. So we've activated our senses. We've activated our energetics within our body. We've called our mind back in. Our gut, the peristalsis in our gut relaxing down as our vagus nerve relaxes down because we're all coming in. So the energetics of you is starting to awaken and become alive and excited about what's about to happen. Your spirit, your inner child, your soul, just excited to speak to your human, to speak to your person, your personality that you go by. I live a very dual life with my spirit Nahika and my Vicky and my ego Vicky and my inner child light, and my feminine, my masculine, all different flavors of me and all different essences of me. So tuning into your feet, you're relaxed in your seat, your palms up, just relax them down onto your thighs. We're just going to feel what your feet feel like in the earth. So the gravitational balance, the polar orientation, an inner awareness within ourselves of north, south, east, west, and our energetics surrounding that with our physical form, the ability to stand upright, of leaning left, right, forward or backwards, have certain neurological aspects, realities about ourselves. If we're leaning forward, we're pressuring the balls of our feet into the ground forward. We're out of alignment, running ahead of ourselves, leaning ahead. Our body and spirit is trying to catch up to the mind leading. When we're doing this gravitational balance, because that's the one that my team have started to talk with first, we're just going to bring awareness to the balls of your toes, the ball of the big toe, right across the balls to the ball of the little toe. And it's a trained experience that you play with again and again. Your left foot and your right foot are going to speak to you with different pieces of information, which can be quite draining when we're doing this internal awareness with self. Where so many aspects, left and right, front and back, and all the different stories of our evolvement of our person, the accidents, the trauma, the love and light that's happened within our experience is all packaged in our bodysuit. Every single thing that we have experienced from incarnation to date is within our body, is memory tissue, muscle memory. It's all within our bodysuit. That's right. So as I talk, I soften the awareness. So now when you tune into the balls of your toes onto the ground, you may also transition through the foot, so you're feeling the top muscular or the ligaments of the feet. Just drop back down to the balls of your feet. You got the ball of the big toe, the next one. Just close your eyes and resting your feet lightly, feeling the balls of your toes. They're slowly going to come into awareness. They're going to move, they're going to soften. One will speak louder on one foot than the other. There we go. And now we've just gently got the balls of our toes coming into awareness. But because our feet aren't balanced, we're going to feel aches and pains and tension in other parts of the foot. Like on the top of the foot, the ligaments might get a bit tension because it's almost like you might feel like you have to press your feet in the ground. You don't necessarily, you're just lightly placing your feet on the ground. And that in itself could be quite hard if you're a heavy-footed person. You always want to plonk your feet down. This is just gently relaxed. And then once we tune into gently relaxing our feet on the ground, we feel the tension in the knees, and the shins, and the thighs, and the pelvis, and the shoulders, and the jaw, the ears, and the head, and the crown. We are all connected. So I want you to do a breath and just take your feet off the ground and just wriggle and just walk your feet. Because tuning in with such minute awareness with a structure of your body is actually a lot of effort for our nervous system and our brain, especially if we're not used to tuning in minute aspects. So now we come back to the foot. Come back to the foot, we've wriggled. And now we're going to have a soft awareness with the balls, feet shoulder width apart, under the knees at right angles to the hips, and we're just sitting comfortably. Just bounce your feet, my feet on the ground, but I'm just bouncing the heels a little bit and bouncing the toes a bit, and then the heels and then the toes. Okay, so come back in to the feet, feeling the balls of the toes. And now we're going to bring in what are we going to bring in? The heel. So underneath the pad of the heel, I want you to bring in some awareness of what that feels like on the ground. And you're going to feel a bit lopsided. You're going to feel fairly forward because we've just tuned into the balls of the feet. Now we're asking you to bring awareness to the heels. So your whole body structure is just realigning and then coming back to our heels. And now you might even feel a resonance in the palms of your hands with the heel of your hand. And one foot might be heavier into the ground than the other. That's okay. We just let it be heavier and the other one be lighter. And then they might change. Just the pad of the heel. Relax the body. Relax the breath. Internal gaze. If you find yourself holding your breath, it's going to be a bit tricky to relax and tune into an isolated part of the body. So just do a breath, wriggle, bounce your heels, bounce the front of your feet, the balls of your feet, bounce the heels, give your hips a wriggle, and then come back into the feet. Feel the heels of the feet. Yeah, so now we've interrupted the nervous system being locked and isolated. It's just relaxed. It can send all those messages throughout our body. So now we've got the balls of our feet in awareness, our heels. We're going to do the lateral edge from the heel up the underside of the foot to the ball of the little toe. So that's the lateral edge. And again, you will feel one foot far more easier than the other. If you feel like you're getting tension, just give yourself a wriggle, stretch, yawn, bounce your heels, bounce the balls. You might feel one foot more forward than the other. Wriggle your feet. Come back in, just gentle, soft awareness from the soles of your feet. From the heel to the ball of the little toe. There we go. So that's the lateral edge. And now we're going to do the upright from the ball of the big toe to the pad of the big toe. So it's really bringing us on our feet. The ball of the big toe to the pad of the big toe. And again, one could be heavier in the ground than the other or more forward than the other. If you get too caught up in it, just give yourself a wriggle, bounce your heels, bounce the balls, wriggle your feet, wriggle your knees, your shoulders, your jaw, then come back in with your feet. The ball of the big toe and the pad of the big toe. The ball of the big toe, the pad of the big toe. And you get the two sides speaking differently, just gentle awareness. Wriggle your feet, wriggle your ankles, your knees, your thighs, your hips. Okay, soften. The ball of the big toe, the pad of the big toe. Just do a breath. Wriggle your feet. Now we're going to come back. We're going to feel the pad of the big toe, the ball of the big toe, across the balls of the toes to the outer little toe, from the ball of the little toe to the pad of the heel. Wriggle your feet, wriggle your knees, wriggle your jaw. Place your feet back underneath your knees, the knees at right angles to your hip. Relax your body. Feel your feet, the pad of the big toe, the ball of the big toe, across the balls of the toes to the ball of the little toe. The underside of the foot from the ball of the little toe down to the heel, the pad of your heel. And again, going forwards, we've got the heel, the pad of the heel, underside of the foot to the ball of the little toe, across the balls to the ball of the big toe, then the ball of the big toe to the pad of the big toe. The 5 points of the foot, the heel, the lateral edge, the balls of the toes, ball of the big toe to the pad of the big toe. And then you can do that in reverse. If you just remember to interrupt when you feel like you're getting tension with your feet or frustration within yourself, you're asking your nervous system to tune to such, is like really focus in on a body part. It's like too much for it, especially if you're not used to it. So subtle, just be light with yourself, give yourself a wriggle and then come back in again. Coming into the body, the butterfly coming back into the body.